Hey Paul, since we last talked in February, quite a lot has happened for Barrow. We won the league at Lowestoft. How did that afternoon go for you?
Actually, it was morning for me. It was 9 o'clock. I was in Dallas. I'd watched the Tamworth game the week before, and so I was there for that game. And it was I knew we'd win. I knew we'd win. So it was just wait for the result at the end. It was a little closer than I thought, but there was never a doubt in my mind that we were going to win.
That's good. Now, moving on to this current season in the National League, how do you feel about Barrow's start to the season?
I think everybody would say that our start has been disappointing for a variety of reasons. Nothing really that you can pin your hat on, really. I mean, basically, if between some really strange refereeing decisions to injuries to illness to all kinds of things, we just haven't had a really smooth start, which is frustrating. So, the results have gone pretty much you would expect, I think, given some of the hurdles that we've had.
Has our disappointing start to the season changed your expectations and targets in any way?
No, because we've pretty much been in every game except perhaps the Grimsby game. In fact, we've been the better team in most of the games we've played. So, over a long season, that eventually will play out. We haven't played a team yet, even Grimsby, come to that I don't think we would give a very good game to when they come here to play at Furnace Building Society Stadium. So no, I think we're very competitive. If we get the rub of the green and some breaks, different to some of the things that have happened already, then I think we'll be okay.
So we're here today for non-league day before we entertain Eastleigh, and next week we go to Braintree. How do you see those games panning out?
If we get 4 points from those two games, I think I'll be delighted, actually. As I said, we've had some reasonably, I don't want to say bad breaks, because in football you always get bad breaks, but I would say, and it wouldn't surprise me if it gets worse before it gets better, but it will get better. So we'll see.
Final question as far as football is concerned. Since you took over the club in mid-2014, what's been your best or favourite moment so far?
Oddly, really nothing to do with football. I think really my favourite moment, oddly enough, is the fact that Gareth, from taking what wasn't the world's greatest pitch a couple of years ago, has become honoured as the second best pitch in all of non-league football. And that's part of what this is all about. I mean, people who go over and beyond to do things that maybe people don't even recognise. And I think we should all be very proud, and I am particularly, that Barrow is recognised by people who play on it, which is the most important, as the second best surface in all of non-league football, with the exception of Bristol Rovers, who are now not in non-league football. So maybe we have the best service in non-league football.
Yeah. I've got some more abnormal questions for you now. If you were going to be stuck on a desert island for a year and were only allowed to take 3 items, what would you take?
So define the items. How big are the items?
Anything you want. It has to be able to fit in like a backpack.
Oh, okay, because I was about to say a nuclear power plant. I don't know, 3 items, and it would also depend on how well equipped the desert island itself was, right? So I think a barbecue grill, assuming there were something to grow or catch on there, because I can't imagine cooking over, getting going, find twigs every day and then trying to find light. A lighter, obviously, to light the aforementioned barbecue grill, and then some method, probably a still for turning seawater into drinking water. I don't know whether that would exactly fit in a backpack, but maybe they make mini ones.
Big backpack.
Yeah.
Who do you look up most to in life?
Well, my dad was probably the person that I was most proud of. He's passed away now, so I'm not totally sure that counts. And it has to be somebody close to you, right? Because you just don't know people well enough if you're not to really look up to them, because everybody has their issues, I guess. So probably, Stephanie is probably that person, because she's sort of through thick and thin, and is one of those persons who is very positive about just about everything. And so she has to live with me, so I guess that's amazing enough.
What is your favourite brand of breakfast cereal?
Oatmeal is what I eat. I don't really eat breakfast cereal that much, but I do enjoy a nice bowl of oatmeal. It's probably the Scot in me that somehow, maybe it's in the genes, I don't know. But my mum always used to make oatmeal every morning, and so I sort of kept on that tradition.
And finally, if you were having an all-star dinner party and could only invite 3 celebrity guests, living or alive, who would you invite?
Living or alive?
Living or alive.
Living or alive?
Yeah.
So how...
Oh, I meant living or dead.
Oh, okay.
Again to it.
Okay.
So.
No, that's part of the interview. You have to put that in. Living or alive. Please note, everybody, Matthew Dodd differentiates between living or alive. I don't know. I don't really want to talk to any dead people, to be perfectly frank. I don't know how relevant they'd be.
You're not the guy of the Sixth Sense?
No, I don't. I don't really have that much interest in people gone by. So, if I had to choose 3 people that might make an interesting... Oh, who would that be? Good question. Probably, I might want to choose Tom Cruise, because I need to figure out how he's so good looking at so old. So that he might give me a few pointers. So that might be sort of mildly interesting. In sports, you'd have to have some kind of sporting person there. I'd be sort of interested in Gary Lineker. I think he might be interesting in terms of his career and what he went through in football. And then the other one would be Sir Alex Ferguson. I'd love to sit down and talk to him. I think he's probably the greatest manager, maybe of all time, if you think of what he's achieved. And so certainly picking his brains, and I just think that would be quite the threesome, wouldn't it? Tom Cruise and Sir Alex Ferguson and Gary Lineker. Wouldn't be a bad night. The wine would probably be fairly decent.
Would you have oysters?
Oh, we'd probably have lots of oysters, yeah. And then we'd have to probably have beef or something, because the red wine would probably be pretty good.
Thank you very much.
Right, thanks.
Thank you. There you go. Living or alive.